Hey guys, what's up? It's Charlie here, and today we're going to be looking at 10 hidden messages in famous symbols. These are a collection of symbols you see every day, which have some secret or very unknown messages and meanings to them. So check it out and get ready to never look at any of these symbols the same again. But first, be sure to like the video and subscribe, and comment I subscribed and I'll try to reply. So, coming in at number 10, we have power button. If you're watching this on a computer, I guarantee that you'll see this symbol if you look at your computer's on button right now. And this symbol is also found on other pieces of technology, from phones to tablets to microwaves. But despite this logo being everywhere, most people have no idea about its true meanings. Well, surprise surprise, it's to do with computers. The symbol was made in the early 1940s by computer engineers, and the symbol itself is a reference to binary. In the computer system binary, there are two numbers, 1 meaning on and 0 meaning off. So the engineers combined both the on and off logos to create this logo to put on the button that we use to turn our technology on and off. Next up, we have medical. Whether you've seen it inside a hospital or doctor's office, or just happen to see it on a passing ambulance, the chances are we've all seen the medical symbol before. The symbol is a staff with wings and two snakes coiled around it. The funny thing about this symbol is that it's actually a mistake. Over 100 years ago, military doctors in the US confused caduceus, which was a symbol of medicine, with the rod of Aciphyllus, which is related to society. It's an easy mistake, as caduceus is very similar to the rod of Aciphyllus, only the rod of Aciphyllus has no wings and only one snake. But the mistake spread rapidly until they couldn't control it. So they just decided to retire the caduceus and make the rod of Aciphyllus the new medical sign. Next up, we have ampersand. If you're typing a quick text or want to add a little elegance to your writing, a lot of people use an ampersand or and symbol. While many think the ampersand has something to do with the infinity symbol, this is false. It's actually a visual representation of the Latin conjunction et, which translates to and in English, much like the French word et, which means and. The symbol was created back in ancient Rome to speed up writing and was first found in a document known as the Terraean Notes. Hundreds of years later, writers in America and Europe began using this, and that's why we have it today. However, it hasn't always looked how it looks now. It began with the letters E and T being squashed together. It then went through two more transformations before arriving at how it is now. To be honest though, I still can't draw it right. Next up, we have heart symbol. The heart symbol is one of the most well-known symbols in the world, whether it's on a box of Valentine's Day chocolates or on a biker gang member's tattoo. Most people assume the heart symbol is a romanticized version of the heart organ, however, this is false. But don't worry, the meaning behind the heart symbol is still very romantic, and there are two possible theories to it. One theory is that it's actually how Greeks used to draw ivy, especially in this portrait of Dionysius, the Greek god of wine and passion. And the other theory is that the symbol is the shape that two swans make when they meet in a lake, as swans are a sign of love, devotion, and loyalty because of how swan pairs stay together for life. So there you go guys, a corny romantic meaning for a corny romantic symbol. Next up, we have Bluetooth. Although it's now being used less and less, the chances are you either use Bluetooth as a phone or use Bluetooth to connect speakers or headphones. But what does the Bluetooth symbol actually mean? Many think the symbol is a pair of teeth, but this is wrong. There are actually Scandinavian runes of a king's initials. The king was called Harald Blattant and was nicknamed Bluetooth because he loved blueberries. And apparently one of his teeth had a permanent blue tint. So the Bluetooth symbol creators used the Scandinavian runes of his initials, being HB, and then combined the two to make Bluetooth. And although the two white spikes don't represent teeth, the symbol's creators made the blue oval in a tooth shape to make a blue tooth. Next up, we have skull and crossbones. We all know the skull and crossbones symbol from pirate movies or when it's featured on heavy metal band logos. Well, although it's not related to music, it is related to dancing. In medieval times, it was the symbol of danse macabre, which translates to ghoulish dance. The dance was to show how fragile life was and was done whenever someone in a town died. Then in the 15th century, many armies began using it to create fear in their enemies and to show recklessness. But one thing it was never used for was on pirate ships or anything to do with pirates for that matter. That myth was made up by Hollywood. Next up, we have the OK sign. The OK sign has different meanings in different countries. In the US, it's a positive thing that means yes or okay. However, in France, for example, it's negative and is used to call a person zero or meaningless. But there's a reason why it's a positive thing in America, because OK is actually short for a town called Old Kinderhook in New York, which was the birthplace of Martin Van Buren, the 8th president of the United States. It's unknown how this sign was originally used to abbreviate a town and now means okay or yes, but it is a very bizarre and interesting meaning to the sign that I had no idea about. Next up is the peace sign. This symbol is quite a recent symbol compared to most of the others on this list. It was created in 1958 during the Cold War between the Soviet Union and the United States, and there was a widespread controversy about the United States using nuclear weapons that sparked hundreds of protests. During these, protesters would communicate in masses not by shouting or using banners, but by using the semaphore alphabet, which is all about standing and arm positions. The protesters were encouraging the government to engage in nuclear disarmament, or ND, and the translation of N in the semaphore alphabet is one person holding two flags, one facing up and one facing down in a straight line. And the translation of D is to put both hands with flags onto your sides facing down. The symbol was created by putting these two figures together in a circle. So while this sign is now used as a sign of general peace, it used to be used to mirror a protester of nuclear weapons positioning. Next up we have the swastika. It's one of the most notorious and hated symbols in the world, but it didn't always have these terrible connotations. The Nazis actually stole the swastika from the Gaudian cross symbol, and before the Nazis stole it, the symbol ironically meant peace and holiness, and it used to be one of the holiest symbols in the world. It heavily featured in many religions such as Hinduism and Buddhism, and many places used it for decoration in almost all modern civilizations. However, many of these symbols have now been removed as to not cause offense. So really, the swastika was a good and holy symbol, but in the 1930s, the Nazis transformed it into the most hated symbol of all time. And next up we have yin and yang. This is the oldest symbol on this list and was created in 400 BC. And unlike the swastika, the symbol has kept to its original meaning. That being that sometimes two different contrasting forces that don't work well on their own can work well if put together in unity. Yin translates to a sunny place and yang translates to a shady place, with the light place representing happiness and the shady place representing sadness. And just like with emotions such as happiness and sadness, one can't exist without the other. Or to quote the famous philosopher 50 Cent, sunny days wouldn't be so special if it wasn't for rain. And that just about wraps up this video. Check out the poll in the top right corner and you guys can vote for the most amazing meaning of a symbol. But as always, thanks for watching. Check out some more videos on screen right now. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe.